screen, set up this IG live, and we good to go, man. So we just gonna go ahead and start this thing, and we're gonna jump right into it. So yesterday was a very impactful, powerful day. A lot of good stuff. Hopefully, you guys tapped into my IG live. Um, you can go ahead and review that. So thank you to the Amplify community for going ahead and having me. So definitely was excited to be there. I'm excited to be here today, this morning. First off, I want to give praise to the person upstairs. Another day, another opportunity. You know, we love execution around here. And for my people that's just able to, just hop on and say, you know what, L's on here this morning. Let's go ahead and execute. So I want to give you your flowers for being one, available, two, willing to hop on. For those that are watching via YouTube, for those that are either watching on IG Live, welcome in. We're just doing a quick pop-up. So I'll let some people know that we are live. I'm live on IG. So definitely I'm live here on IG, on YouTube. So this call is being recorded. Good morning, Miss Ivanette. Miss Lynch is in the building. So after we finish this pretty much blowout, type week, I mean, this was a great week. I mean, this was one of those weeks. And yesterday was one of those days. So we got to talk about it really intensely now that yesterday's over. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Now let's cut that off. So let's go to the Discord. I didn't realize I didn't have the Discord up. All right, let's go to the Discord real quick here. And so what I want to stress is that we pretty much timed this thing to perfection. I mean, we could not have gotten any more accurate than this. This is what you call precise and precision. I said, what? I have a strong feeling once we finish earnings, that was on Thursday. Tomorrow, which is Friday, we will have a nasty sell-off. This is just a prediction, but I have a gut feeling that tells me we are going to see a nasty sell-off at some point. It was teeing up. Now, I want to talk about the fear and the greed index, where we sit at real quick, because now we're at neutral, right? Just pay attention, right? This is me previous. Yeah, we're right here at neutral, right? So the fear and the greed index went to neutral that fast. And a lot that the main reason that, and good morning to everyone here, this is what you call accuracy and precision. Now, notice that the fear and the greed was pretty much high at that point. Now we go to neutral. Now the VIX, this was, yesterday, shout out to Amazon, because I think Amazon might have a reversal in store. We'll see though. But the VIX, I came point blank period, and discuss why the VIX, I thought it could take off. The VIX hit 20 yesterday, it went up 20%. So there was a lot of fear that came into the market really fast. But even if you notice, it was more of a profit take more so than anything. I want to stress that. Yesterday was more of a profit take more than anything. So profits were once again taken off the board. That's exactly what happened. Was we saw profit takes, came in very fast. You had some really, you had some tickers that, at one point they were trading once again side by side, right? These tickers ended up cooling here to this downside, right? So AMD, there was a lot of names where just profits were taken off the board just entirely, right? So profits being taken off the board, are we really nervous? Right? Like, are we nervous right now that the market is going to pull back in a large fashion? Me specifically, I don't think that the market is going to pull back in a large fashion. That's just my thoughts, right? So to me, I don't get that type of feeling, right? I don't get that type. I do think that certain areas of the market, I was mentioning names like Robinhood. I'm interested to see what happens with Hood when they report their quarterly earnings. Could we see like 15 to maybe 20% pull downs on some of our high growth names within the ARK ETF? For sure. Could we see names like Tesla maybe make it here to this downside? And so, like I said, this is once again, like I said, it definitely is, once again, one of the most important things that I would stress, right? So listen here, take these notes. Take these notes. And there's a dramatic difference between me and everybody else. What do I mean by that? I'm giving it to you guys raw and real. Just what it is. No sugarcoating, no magic formulas. These are industry proven things that I discuss each and every single time that I get here on Zone. So you could take a look at this information and you can continue to take notes. These things as followed. There is a lot of frothy tickers in the market right now. Now, when everyone's getting giddy, what do I always encourage people to do? I always encourage people to start looking the other direction. Start thinking, and I've asked the question. I've been saying for 3 weeks, raise cash. 3 weeks I've been saying it. But when Kano, the ticker 2x lever ticker for Coinbase drops 40%, now people want to sell. When SOXL, I've only been screaming, take your profits. And I have people asking, should I take any money off SOXL? Where the hell you been at? Did you not see what SOXL did? It 3x in 3 months. And it's a 3x product. You get what I'm saying? It is a 3x product. This is what I say. Once again, a lot of times people are not listening, right? They are not listening, not following instructions. You're freehanding, right? Oh, LE, I know you told us don't do it, but I did it anyway. Then when it works out, it's cool, right? But when it doesn't work out, what can I do better? Not do what I told. Do what I told. Like when you do what I told you not to do, you are going to end up losing your money. Oh, LE, I was trading out the money options, right? I was trading out the money options, but it was working. Then it stopped working. Why? Because the market stopped moving. So you got to have different strategies for different markets. Here right now, one of the things that I would encourage for people is to pay attention to these levels here. That's why I want to pull up the QQQ, right? So we got CrowdStrike. I'll first discuss Crowd. A lot of great questions on ticker CRWD. Let's pull up my bad boy. So CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Network, Zscaler, like these are names that we still are very high on. The healthcare sector, like a lot of times, this is a reverse psychology piece. You have to take a look at the business and where the price is. So Lululemon, 140, 160 is an ideal price, right? If you're looking to go long on Lulu to get some shares, it's not always about options. At this point, you're able to get Lululemon at a really great value. You're able to get Palo Alto Network at really great value. They made a major investment in the company, which we think will pan out over time. In the short term, because the company went in investment mode, it is going to cost them a few points on their stock right now, and that's okay. But from a long-term investor perspective, I strictly want to really speak a lot about long-term investing today. You got to really look at and say, okay, how much am I allocated to a lot of these different names? You may be heavily allocated into a lot of growth names. CrowdStrike, right, which is a high growth, high PE business. Palantir, PLTR, high growth. It's a strong business right now. But a lot of these companies have really grave projections, right? 2026 and 2027 is definitely going to be once again, a time, right, that I need you guys to understand. I just need you guys to understand, right? I'm going to say this, and listen to me carefully. I'm going to say it a few times. When you are analyzing companies, you should always have desired prices. And what do I mean by that? You should have levels. Once again, not all your desired prices are always going to hit. Keyword. That's why it's a desired price. Listen to me carefully. That's why it's a desired price. So key prices that I need everyone to write down. And this is something that I will be giving directly to the community and the community only. There'll be some prices I give publicly, but not all. And the difference about my prices are always backed by fundamentals too. What I'll say is not all the prices will come to fruition. Now, I'm not going to even pull up the past documents because we've done that before. But listen, all I have to say is the semiconductor space, I call that down and up. Simple as that. And if you made money from SOXL, you made 5-figure bags, I need you to drop some fires in the chat. Listen, price is going up around here, man. We've been helping a lot of people out, giving a lot of people discounts, putting a lot of people in position, making a lot of people a lot of money. I don't know so many people that with the cost of my program that got receipts of, Lawrence, I made 30,000. Lawrence, I made 50,000. Lawrence, I made 100,000. Lawrence, I made 100% return. And this just didn't start happening 3 months ago either, right? And so this game has been given consistently up, down, because I'm going to talk even louder if this market was to drop 10%, be showing people the different game plans and the opportunities to buy. So I'm really done talking about this market at an all-time high. I would prefer if the market pulled back a little bit because it would give all of us an opportunity to go shopping a bit. So the thing about it is that you have to be here no matter what. You can't be a front runner. I made a video a couple months ago and it talked about Therese Halliburton because I still believe it to be true. He front runs a lot. When he's up, he's giddy, right? We're winning. But when he loses, he's like a sore crybaby. I hope the brother feels better and gets better and recovers from his Achilles tear. Good brother. But that's not the energy that you should have in this space or in any space. When you're up, you're front running. You're cheerleading, you're excited, you're happy. This stuff takes hard work. You are going to be down sometimes. I don't care what no one tells you. Everybody's batting 100%. Even Ohtani not batting 100%. And Ohtani played both sides, pitching and he bats, right? And he's playing D. He does everything. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, but he does not make every three. So this is the piece that I got to really stress is like, yo, you got to be willing to make a game. This is a game of adjustments. Either you're going to adjust and you're going to commit. So many people are saying, Lawrence, I don't know if I want to commit. I can't commit the time. But so many people are chasing the quick trades. But I want to make 10,000. I want to make 20,000. But your output doesn't match your wants and ambitions. Your outputs have to match. What are you outputting? How many times are you studying? How many times are you reading? Are you really taking this information free? Are you really taking this information seriously, right? Everyone wants the freebies, the alley-oops off the backboard. But how many people in here can go get a bucket by themselves one-on-one? Like realistically, how many people feel like, you know what, I can go get a bucket in here one-on-one? I know I can. You line me up against the best of the best, we can go get buckets. There's receipts coming. Because one of the things is a lot of people talking, but they're not doing, not just in up markets, but in down markets. People go quiet. But it seems to be when a market goes down, I'm one of the few people talking. Then when the market goes back up, I'm seeing all of these dudes getting bah, 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 bah. And I'm like, man, where was these cats at when the market was down? But that's the problem. And then people buying hopium. Oh, man, the market's back up. Why are you trying to buy so much at the top? Once again, 20% discounts don't come all the time. But if Lawrence is telling you, hey, the market is a bit frothy and it raised some cash, you should do so, especially if we talk about leverage products, leverage ETFs, things like that. Like you definitely should be, you definitely should be taking that money. But when we talk about level setting, and reality checks, when the SPY hit that 620 yesterday, what happened to the SPY? And we're going to give CrowdStrike real quick because I've been on it too long. Listen, 350 to 300 range is like the perfect area. So like if CrowdStrike can erase all of its gains, I would look to start selling some cash secure puts in that area. I do think it's possible. Once again, we'll have to see. In order to do so, we'll have to break underneath 400 first, right? But CrowdStrike, all of these names are important for us to understand because we want exposure into these names, but it has to be at the right price. CrowdStrike has already rallied from $140 right here back. Look at this, $200 here in August 5th of last year, 2024. It rallied from $140 in August of 2023. So the piece I want to say, this stock is literally up 200%. over the past few, you're just taking a look over the past few years. There's a lot of names, once again, that have been running on all cylinders, even with the pullback that did take place. Now, let's look at the SPY. We closed at about 621. Let's talk about the SPY this week, right? So pay attention, get your notes down. Let's make some money. You got to be serious about this thing. You trying to make some money, you got to be serious about it. You can't be playing with your money in this market, buying weekly options. When it's working, it's working. When it's not, then everybody's mad. Lawrence is not telling nobody to play a weekly option. Never has, never will. Right? So I want to stress this. Once again, stress this so much. All right. With the S&P 500, what is it composed of? When we say what is the S&P 500 composed of, we go to ETF.com, user resources. Majority of the resources are free. You ain't got to open too many, a ton of books, but you should open a charting and technical analysis book. You should be in this program. If you're not in this program, right, you should be in this program. We got 60, 70, 74 people that's here right now. If you're not in this program on this Zoom right now, you should be DMing me figuring out how you can come in here and get into the most affordable, effective program. Buying into this program is like buying a stock with a 10 P to E ratio that has the potential to grow you over time. Buying into this program is like buying Meta at $90. You see the results of that. That's the facts of buying this program. No get if, games, buts about it. A lot of people talking theory, but they not trying to see me for real though. Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Meta, AVGO, Google, right? Those are your main players. Now, Nvidia has become such a strong asset allocation that it sits number 1 and 2. Once again, number 1 in the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Microsoft is right there. Now, Apple's dominance has fallen, right? Amazon's dominance has fallen in these ETFs, right? The SPY and the QQQ. So they're heavily relying upon Nvidia and Microsoft, even, now more than ever. And also you have your bad boy Broadcom, AVGO, which is pretty much just say, hey, we're coming for blood. We're coming to take people out, right? Broadcom was just an afterthought, right? At one point, realistically, right? Broadcom was an afterthought. Broadcom was just considered to be a customer of Apple. How disrespectful. Now Broadcom sits here top 5 in the NASDAQ. They're saying, we're a $1 trillion company now. We once were, less than $100 billion, but we're a $1 trillion company. Broadcom said, man, we ain't come to play no games. So when we take a look at names like Nvidia, which just peaked out and we hit 180, we broke over 180 for a second, right? It was super hot. It closed at 172. I want everyone to put down on your notes 165. I need everyone to put down on your notes 165 for Nvidia. That's your pivot point level. If Nvidia breaks below 165, it will retrace back down to about 161. After that, there is a soft level around 157. But other than that, it'd be heading towards 153. That's on a downside perspective. Of course, you can't do anything now on Nvidia unless you're getting above 183. Right now, Nvidia is at 4.24 trillion in market cap. So a lot of this asset allocation has to do with what? Nvidia. So this week, if we do retrace downward to 165, what you think is going to happen to the SPY? This is if, right? The SPY can pull back to 615 and also 611. So once again, 615 and 611. If we break below 619, listen here carefully. I'm giving a little bit of a watch list preview for tomorrow. If you break below 619, that's where you're going to look to see Nvidia pull back down. Now, on the upside, we need to get back above 626 on the SPY, right? I need everyone to write that level down. So there's no questions, giving it to you. So if it breaks above 626 and holds, right, then we should be able to see a move continuous back upwards. That 619 level is going to be 619.11 to the tick, right? If we break below 619 on the SPY, we are going to head downward a bit more, right? So I need everyone to write that level down, right? Make sure you are writing these levels down. Now, if we know that Nvidia draws down, what also do we pay attention to? Given a lot, and we got a few more minutes here before I wrap this thing up. Got a time that I'm gonna cut it off, right? But 283, we're gonna pull up this bad boy SMH. I need everyone taking these notes. It's Saturday morning here. Your favorite guy is on here in the morning, dropping this game and its value. Listen, you want to eat, you work while the rest of these people sleep, man. They sleep because they don't want it like that. That's what you got to do. Rest of these people sleep. You got to outwork the next person. That's what you got to do. That's what we're doing here right now. This is a competitive. You got to outwork them. You got to put that work in. You got to outwork them. The drinking, the smoking, the eating bad, the not exercising, that leads to early death. But you know what can continue to keep you prosperous is taking care of your mind, your health, drinking your water, eating your fruits, your vegetables, getting in the gym, lifting properly. You don't got to lift heavy like me, but just doing the reps. You know what can change your situation right now? Following these charts, reading these fundamentals, paying attention to this game, listening to not get emotional, but listening when you hear DT talk to make moves. Oh, you want to slap tariffs? Okay, tariff man, we gonna slap some puts. Okay, you want to lift those tariffs? We gonna put some calls on. It's as simple as that. In this game, this is about making rational decisions and proper choices. That's what it is. The SMH ETF, 283 here right now, 279 thereafter, 277. Why would I be looking at the SMH? Well, if we're saying, okay, there's a potential chance that Nvidia comes down, what names should we be paying attention to? Names like MU, which could be breaking below $100. Where's the best price we believe to get MU? The same as last time, $75 to $80, right? That's your best price, best case scenario, MU, right? Now, Taiwan Semiconductor, which we saw over there on the screen. Where should people be looking to maybe get exposed to TSM? To me, I would say Taiwan Semiconductor. If you're not, obviously, if you haven't built a position, last time we called this thing to the T. We said, hey, 150, 150, 155, and ended up dropping all the way to about 130. See where it's at now. Just hit 245, right, on the intraday session a few sessions ago. So SMH, once again, 279 break and break below 277, we could see a drop all the way to 272. The level that I'd be real interested and intrigued at to really see would be for us if we can pull downward to back to the 250 zone. I'm not saying that this happens overnight, but where I would be interested if I would say, hey, there's an area like 240 to 250 is where I think investors should get a bit aggressive on SMH. And at that point, you would probably see, obviously, Nvidia would probably be at 140, 150. You would see a relative profit take that could be substantial. You probably see AMD come back down to maybe 120, 130, which could still happen, right? I know that people have been looking at AMD and saying, man, this thing is running. We have a date, a nice date. The table will be set. Fellas, make sure you bring some nice flowers. Make sure you pull that chair out. Make sure the tablecloth's set. Make sure you take to a nice restaurant because it's a nice date that's happening at 4 p.m., right? 4 p.m. on Tuesday. And that's what AM Dizzle. Now we're going to see when that steak comes out, is it a little cold or does it have some sizzle? My take is that AMD may not have much juice right now. Keyword right now. Now you're hearing this from the guy who was very bullish on AMD and still am long term. But I understand AMD's ebbs and flows. Now, of course, if this is what I would like, once again, this is a business, not always but you don't always get what you like. But when I'm talking this talk, you take these notes. You put this down on your paper. You put this down on your notes. AMD can't go anywhere unless it breaks 187. AMD can't go anywhere unless you break 187. TSM, like I said, best price to me would probably be right now 180 to 190. 180 to 190. So you got to take these notes. Take these notes. Take these notes. Execute upon this information. For everyone listening here right now, Saturday, 8:21 a.m., you got to put in the work. Let's get to this bag, man. Let's not play around with this no more. This no theory talk. This you press buttons, you make money. whether I'm in a suit, whether I'm in a cutoff tee, whether I'm about to go lift, whatever, 400 pounds, squatting, whatever you call it, 275 on a bench, whatever you want, I can get it done. And you can too. Put in this work. 187, AMD ain't doing nothing unless it busts through 187. So listen to me now. You put that on your notes. Lawrence, here's the question that's going to come in. L, what do you think about AMD? I'm telling you now. The same way I told you at $70, $80, $90 to buy it. I also told you where it was coming down in October. All of these are documented. Down, up, sideways, whatever you want. We could cover call it. We could cash secure put it. Whatever you want it. This ain't Burger King, but you damn sure can have it your way here. That's what we do. So when you talk about this is a V-shaped recovery. V-shaped, right? V-shaped recovery. The V-shaped recovery is complete. V-shaped recovery is complete. So when you look at this, I want to highlight these levels. Turn these bad boys on. Underneath 169.06, you can see a pullback to 164.66. A lot of people have asked, where would I buy AMD? I would say that, in the lower 100 range, like $100 to $120, I think is the best price right now. Once again, AMD goes through these cycles where they have these rally ups. Now, the question is from a fundamental perspective, we always want to take things fundamental wise. When it comes to AMD and its advanced money distributor right now, it is advanced micro devices, but right now it is advanced money distributor. It has been distributing money. Now, could it turn back into advanced money destroyer? We'll see. The question is this high PE business, right? Because this is what it is. The only thing that really is stopping AMD from being a $200+ company has really just been its earnings. Like, they have the following, they have the belief, right? Like, AMD very easily could be a $500 billion company, realistically. The reason they're not is because their earnings and their profitability has just not went up as it should. They're still earning $1.37 year by year, right? TTM the past 12 months. So we still need AMD, once again, to actually push higher, right? We still need them to, once again, they need to actually now start to print money, right? More, right? Now, they've printed us money from a stock perspective, but have they actually printed us money, right, from a company earnings perspective? The answer to that is no, they have not. And that's the reason why AMD is not higher, right? Once again. So let me say that again. What is the thing that's stopping AMD from taking that next leap? It has really been its profitability. When you listen to the earnings calls over the past 8-12 quarters, AMD has had chances. Hell, it made it over $200 before, but it wasn't long. You want to know why? Because investors got it to that point, but then the earnings were abysmal. People said, oh, hell no, we're going to take this off the board. They sold the bad boy from $227 down to $73 just to buy it back up again and pushed it to about $185 this week. So AMD has the believers. I would compare it to Tesla, right? Two different companies, but as far as the fan club, it's there. Don't get it twisted. AMD has the fan club. They have the following. Tesla has the following, which is why Elon Musk's stock is not $100. Because people still want to believe in Elon, but they don't want to leave his stock and then it's at $600-$700. Because the moment you leave is like, now he starts doing right. So that's really the biggest fear with Tesla. It's like, bro, your profitability, same thing, right? You are not profitable the way you should be. And your sales are not continuing to represent a company of true growth. But what's happening is that when these earnings calls get here, like Tesla will go on its runs just like AMD, but profits are always getting taken off the board. The main reason why is because the earnings, people are waiting for the profitability. So the moment, once again, that these two names, right, and I see Berkshire Hathaway earnings just came out, dipped 4%. So Berkshire Hathaway just reported their quarterly, fiscal quarterly earnings. So we do see that. Shout out to the fam over there in company. So shout out to let me read this real quick. Shout out to Berkshire Hathaway fam. Let's see. So I'll read these numbers a little bit later. They're definitely interesting to me. All right. So, and that's the power of alerts, great people. When you have your alerts set up, you should be notified, right? You should always be notified. I think, once again, it is super, super, super duper important. A lot of times people are, once again, just playing around. They're not having their alerts. They're not using Yahoo Finance. So please make sure of that, right? Please make sure of that. Now, next up, AMD, best price. Like I said, $100 to $120. So please write that price down. We are developing a document that is going to give everyone the prices that they should be looking at with the businesses, but that is only going to mentees only. Mentees only will only receive that information. You guys will get a nice PDF, probably a couple of them broken up, maybe sector by sector, that I am developing, right? So that is only for my premium mentees only. Once again, those things are not going to be given on IG Lives. They are just the reality. They are not going to be just given out there. We're holding these things in tight. You want to know why? I gave it to people last time. You want to know what they do? I caught a lot of those people in other people's comments going and giving them praises for things I talked about. And you got a lot of people that's stealing what the things that I talk about. It's so disrespectful. Because to me, I'm 25, but some people try to play me because they think I'm stupid or naive. And it's a lot of people that are haters, that are older, that try to hate on me, that literally will try to hate on me. And I think that's lame because I don't hate on nobody. I want to see everybody win. Ain't no hating bone in my body. So you try to hate on a dude who's 25. He's never sold drugs. He's never rapped. He's never tried to be imitate none of that, but you hating on it. We talk all this stuff about we want young men to be this, but when young men become this, we hate on them. It's a damn shame. But guess what? I ain't gonna let it affect me because you just see, I just turn up. I just show them they can't compete. That's my response. Like, okay, what time is it here? Our master class on a Saturday morning? No problem. Wealth Builder stage event? No problem. Dr. Boyce All Black National Convention? No problem. Event August 10th to the 12th? No problem. Classes day in, day out? No problem. I'm going to make a news network just like CNBC, probably better. No problem. All gas, no brakes. We just show up because I can just talk about this all day because I've lived it. I've breathed it. I've made money in this, a lot of it. I've lost money in this, never hid behind it. I had some things that came in the way, never hid behind it. Came back, boom, blew this thing up, took it to the next level even more. Win, lose, draw, I'm still here. Red, green, sideways, whatever, still here. So AMD, listen here. I've been trading this stock a long time. I understand its ebbs and its flows. Next week, we got a nice date, 187. It can't do nothing else unless it breaks through 187, right? Best price would be $100 to $120. Simple as that. Simple as that. Fear and greed is at neutral, 50 right there. We're going to talk about this September effect. I want to talk about this September effect before we wrap up. Once again, all premium members, you guys are going to get those price targets with some fundamental backing data. Now, I'll say this up front. All stocks may not hit those levels. But if you're looking to go shopping, you can use this as your cheat sheet to say, hey, let's break this down. CoreWeave, I got you. I'll get that ticker here in a second. I want to talk about September and this month as well, too. You know, there's been a jump as far as an 80% pricing of a rate cut during the September interest rate meeting. So we're getting ready to see a rate cut, right? That goes ahead and happens. So to me, that rate cut could drive the market. The talk about it not happening the continued talk of tariffs and earnings, maybe not coming in the hottest these next 2 weeks will definitely decide whether August and in early part of September does lead us to a sell-off and more of a profit take. So from a historical context perspective, I definitely, like I said, one of the main things 3 weeks ago, I started prefacing and saying, hey, start raising cash. While people were excited about Robinhoods and myself, Roblox, we were all excited. But I said, guys, these businesses have done this in 2 to 3 months. You got to take your money. And once again, really the riskiest trade is the leverage products. Options, you get what I'm saying, is super, super, super duper important, right? Your ETFs. So I want to stress this. And I got you, Queen. My sister right there. What's going on, Queen? She said, can you speak on SMCI? Their earnings are on Tuesday. Yes, ma'am, I can. Right. So I just want to reel people in. We're going to have these conversations continuously over the next few weeks. Right. So just make sure that you are reading about this September effect. I will share this in the chat. Right. So just be prepared, making sure that you have some cash on the side. You want to have some money on the side in case you need to buy. Once again, I'll put that in the chat as well, too. But I did put that there. Now let's go ahead and get 2 tickers and then we're going to bust up out of here because I got to hit the road. So the first ticker we're going to get is SM Sizzle, right? And then we're going to get my baby CoreWeave after that. All right. So CoreWeave, once again, I was early to the party. We'll get to that ticker here in a second. It's at 104. The price you want to buy is $80 and less. Now, I said that when CoreWeave was at 160. Let me get SM Sizzle. Another one of our names that we called to the T. When other people was talking delisting, I told people to do what? Sell cash secure puts, get assigned at a nice price, $20, $25. We had a great trade for January 2026, October, as well as September call options on SMCI, right? Well, September call options, there wasn't any October at the time, right? In January 2026, right? So SMCI has completed the trend. We hit $60.60. I don't think anybody should hold any options through this. But as far as shares, I still think it is a great value hold, right? You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of value here. This is a company with a 30p to E. Respectfully, it is earning more EPS wise than AM Dizzle, right? So we got to call it what it is. This is a business that had bad management and some bad accounting, right? Those two things will turn investors all the way off. Now, they have a chance to me. I still think SMCI can go back to $1,000, which is equivalent to 100. So what I'm saying is I still think this is a great valuable hold. A good buy would be $40. $35, $40 would be a sweet spot. Let's say SMCI comes down, $35 to $40, selling some cash secured puts, you getting a few hundred shares would make sense. This is a name I would say you don't want to have more than 5 to maybe maximum 10% of your portfolio allocated here. Realistically, it should be 5% and under, right? Realistically. So those are my thoughts with SMCI. What they'll do on earnings, I think they'll blow them out. That's my thoughts going into their earnings reports. But because the stock has already taken a move, I don't know if we're going to see that knee-jerk reaction. So those are my thoughts there. SMCI, a nice fundamentally sound business here, but some of the things culturally, which we know play an important factor, is what has hindered them. So those are my thoughts. We'll get the last ticker, CRWV. CoreWeave, baby. CoreWeave, baby. Everyone put 80 in the chat. Put 80 in the chat. $80. Now, listen, when it comes to new IPOs, you guys know new IPOs, we wait for them to go night-night. GTS, CM Punk's going to win that title against Gunther today, right? So shout out to all my people in New Jersey, SummerSlam, WWE, which is TKO. We're going to see CM Punk put Gunther to sleep. Now, I'm going to put CoreWeave ass to sleep, right? And $80 was called way at 160 when everyone was high. It said CoreWeave the future, right? Anytime people start talking about this is the future, it usually never a lot of times, like when they put that, that extra on it, that never usually turns out well instantaneously. They're usually blowing smoke. So now CoreWeave is a name that I want to get exposed to. But once again, what is the business is a loss-making business. So CoreWeave to me, I think you want to go ahead and get this name less than once again, $80. Perfect price would be around 50, 60. Where it'd be nice to get exposed, maybe get a few shares, would be around $80. So CoreWeave, best price, another 50% drop, and that would come right back into demand, and we could trade sideways for some time and have it a little bit of accumulation phase. $80 may be nice to get a few shares, but CoreWeave, man, 50% drop, best price. So we want to see some rotation. CoreWeave's lockup period, listen to this, ends at the end of September. I think it's somewhere like 22nd, something like that. I got to look at the date again. Hold on. Let's just do it now. Let's do it now before we go. And then L's got to hit this gym, right? CoreWeave lockup period. What is it? Let's see. Let's go. Let's see. CoreWeave, when is the lockup period? Lockup expiration? I want to say it's got to be, it's in September for a fact. Let's see. Someone might be putting it. It's September 24th. You see, the people already had it in. So I was 2 days off. I don't know. Last time I looked it up. Let's see. So it is September 24th. I don't know why, because last time I looked it up, it was here. Nonetheless, yep, 180 days. There we go. NASDAQ right there, 924. That's where I got it from. So 924 will be the lockup period end. That will be the day that it ends. 924. Oh, I did say the 24th. Okay. My bad. You see, these dates, I'm telling you, I'm on the T. I got a really great photographic memory. Right. So I appreciate that. The lockup period is important because now all of these insiders are now going to be able to sell. Right. Once again. So the lockup period is super, super duper important because the insiders, the people, there's a period in time when now the people who were holding, right, they were not going to be able to sell until this date. So now they're taking a look. These people probably own the stock at 10, 15, $20. They're going to be pissed that they weren't able to sell at 160. So that in itself can also now start to drive the stock down. So like I said, 50 to $60 would be the best price. 50 to 60 bucks. So once again, I thank you guys for coming on. I got to get ready to jet out of here. So I appreciate y'all so, so, so much. I'll make sure the recording comes in. You can watch this recording on YouTube first. But for mentees, make sure you guys watch the recording. Those prices are coming out. Mentees only are getting the premium price list with all the action-packed value. If you are not a mentee, it will not be happening, unfortunately, right? These people have paid their hard-earned money to come in here. And you can too. And you could get it at a great price. But like the cost analysis is nothing. We have payment plans, different payment options. This is what you get. You get a pop-up on a wake up, and you're going to get a recording. For those that came in late, I'll make sure that recording comes into you. Everyone enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Everyone be blessed.